what's up guys? Let's talk about Incredibles 2. So as many of you know, this is the long-awaited sequel to Brad Bird's original 2004 The Incredibles, brought to you by Walt Disney Pictures and Pixar Animation Studios. This 3D computer animated superhero film is about the Parr family as they deal with being superheroes at a time where it is illegal to be a superhero. This time around, we get to see how they transition and are working on trying to advocate for superheroes to become legal. In the meantime, trying to stop someone who starts controlling people's minds, known as the Screenslaver. Now, I have to say, I jumped on the Incredibles bandwagon far later than I probably should have. I only just saw the first film probably sometime last year, and because of that, I wasn't extremely pumped like many people were who saw that film when it came out and have loved it ever since. However, I must say my expectations were met and they were surpassed. This is a fantastic, incredible film. One thing I was extremely impressed with was the level of animation. Despite obviously being improved 14 years later, it still resembles how the original film looked almost to a T. And that doesn't mean it looks worse in any way, it just has this feeling of looking exactly like that, just better. And they really do pull off some really incredible stuff at times here. There is a lot to see in this film. Sometimes it may be a little too much, but it's not over the top. I feel like there are just several moments here where I had a hard time paying attention to what was going on. I will also add a fair warning to anyone who might suffer from epilepsy. There were a few moments here where I'm worried that that could cause a reaction. There was one scene in particular where it was really dark and out of nowhere it got very bright and was flashing a lot. And even though I don't suffer from epilepsy, I really felt the need to shut my eyes a little bit during that moment as it kind of hurt to keep them open. I think that was mostly due to the brightness shift. Now, along with the animation, of course, everyone loves the cast in this film. I really enjoyed how they transitioned some of the characters and challenge them in this film. For example, Elastigirl, or Helen Parr, played by Holly Hunter, is the one who doesn't really see powers as being as necessary or as amazing as the rest of her family. She is willing to accept the law until things change. That is until she's given the opportunity to take on a secret mission and thus become the face of all superheroes. It's fun to see this side of her as a very confident and just having a lot of fun. We see some really great moments, especially when she's talking about everything she did with her husband. Speaking of Mr. Incredible, Bob Parr himself, once again by Craig T. Nelson, we really get to see a lot of fun on his end as he is forced to sort of become just a dad and take care of his family. He has to handle three big problems in this film, such as helping his son Dash overcome the terrible misfortunes of new math. Now, I've heard some things about how frustrated people are about math nowadays, and it really does come across that way in this film. We really get to feel what a lot of people out there are now experiencing. It was certainly a lot of fun seeing those two pair up. We also get to see how his daughter Violet, voiced by Sarah Vowell, is struggling to meet and conversate with a boy who finds out she has superpowers and is then forced to get his memory erased. But what I have to say, who definitely stole the show was baby Jack Jack. Pretty much every single time he was on screen, there was some great laughs and a lot of surprising elements. He has superpowers and he has so many random, crazy, and fun ones, really added to a lot of great humor and just overall fun for this film. I really like that we got to see more of Lucius Best, or Frozone, played by Samuel L. Jackson. His ability to form ice really came through in this film. It looked fantastic and was really cool seeing him do a lot of interesting things. We of course get to see other love side characters like Edna Mode, and even some fresh voice actors in that of Jonathan Banks as well as Bob Odenkirk. Odenkirk gets to have a lot of fun here as he sort of plays more of a good guy version of Saul Goodman. He's not a lawyer, but he is a guy in a suit and he has his own office and gets to talk to people on the phone. You'll see a lot of parallels there, and it's a lot of fun. Of course, Incredibles 2 is accompanied by a fantastic score once again by Michael Giacchino. There are some times where it really adds to the overall film. In particular, if you see this film in Dolby Atmos, there's some great sound. But I have to say, some of my favorite moments definitely came from baby Jack Jack and some of the sounds we hear he makes and some of the craziness that he does. You'll know it when you see it. For a 2-hour film, it definitely felt very well paced. It's got a lot of great action moments and some really good just general fun and down-to-earth moments. I'd say it's on par, if not better, than the first film, but then again, I don't have as strong of a connection to it like many people do. Let me break it down for you. This one is definitely worth a general matinee or movie pass price. From what I gathered, it's probably really good in 3D as well, so I might consider looking into that if you're interested. You could see this alone like I did, but it's probably worth going to see it with a group, especially your family. If you don't see it in the theater, this one is definitely worth picking up on Blu-ray if you've got a family, or if you just want to rent it or stream it down the line, I definitely think this is one that you have to check out. Incredibles 2 powers up in a supercharged sequel that will please longtime fans of the original, offering interesting themes, character dynamics, and some added depth to its family fare. And that's why this film is a Dyligent pick. So guys, what did you think of Incredibles 2? How did it compare to the first film? Do you feel that it was just as good, if not better, or worse? I really want to know what you think. I really enjoyed this one, and I would definitely go and see it again if I get the opportunity. I want to know who is your favorite character or scene or anything in between about this film. Let me know in the comments below and let's talk about it. My name is Dylan, and if you enjoyed the review, subscribe to my channel while this video ends and send me a thumbs up before you go. Thanks for watching, and stay diligent.